So hello and welcome to the 34th episode of the Spotlight Podcast, the unofficial podcast for Century 21 sales representatives in Canada, where we discuss the hot topics and important news in the real estate industry. So I'm your host, Linas Kilius, and with me, as always, is Eryn Richardson. Hey, Eryn.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Eryn is a broker and general manager at Century 21 Heritage Group. Eryn has an extensive background in online marketing, technology, and customer service. And I'm the head of business development at the real estate marketing company, Homeania. So online reviews have really changed the way that consumers shop for products. Whether you're buying a new TV, renting a room at a hotel you've never been to, or dining out at a new restaurant, it's highly likely that you did your research online before making your purchase or going to wherever you're going. Are there any reviews of the TV online? What's the hotel's rating on TripAdvisor? What are people saying about that restaurant on Yelp? So this begs the question, what are home buyers and sellers doing online to check on or compare real estate agents? How do they do their research on you online, and why should you care? Well, we're going to talk about that on today's show, but if you're watching right now, you might notice that Eryn's background is a little different than usual. Eryn, you're in Vegas, aren't you?
I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada.
So yeah, we apologize for any background noise. He's actually in a hotel lobby right now. But Eryn, what are you doing in Las Vegas?
The Global Century 21 conference is in Vegas this year, and I was, I guess, lucky enough to be invited and sit on a panel and talk about real estate.
So what's come out of the conference so far? Anything exciting?
Oh, lots of exciting things. Anytime you have a chance to talk and network amongst the agents internationally, globally, you get a lot of good ideas and different things that are going around all over the world.
Well, I imagine the perspective's a lot different from country to country. We all know that, the real estate marketplace in the States is a lot different than it is in Canada, for instance, too. So are you taking notes and getting a lot of good takeaways to bring back home to Canada?
I am. There's a lot of actually very common themes that's happening. I didn't even realize they were so common because it seems that at the breakout sessions that we're having and the people that are speaking on topics that are really relevant to what's happening in Canada as well.
Well, maybe you have to take some notes and we can actually talk about some of these topics that you learn about in upcoming podcasts too. That'd be some
Absolutely.
Good content fodder.
Yeah.
But how about we jump into what we're here to talk about today? Online reviews.
All right.
So how are home buyers and sellers using online resources in Canada when selecting a real estate agent?
It's a lot like farming, or the popularity contest. The more you see somebody, whether it be online or a sign on your lawn or a bench or a bus or whatever, you're going to get an advantage of people seeing your name over and over again. So it's branding. So online's no different. The more places you're found online, the better, as long as it's obviously good branding and not negative branding.
So what is it that most home buyers are doing online? Are they looking up like agent review? Like if they're Googling, say, Eryn Richardson, because you just did a listing presentation, is that what they're doing? Are they doing it for validation? Is it more for like finding real estate agents too? If they're Googling your name, like what's the situation here?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was a lot like farming. But when you're online, there's a lot of things that have been happening with other industries. And one of the things you brought up at the very top of the show is a lot of people love reviews, right? So they love to hear what other people are saying about the hotel, for example. So people will always go online, and the first thing that they see when they've Googled something would be a 5-star. And if it has a 5-star, or 4-star, or 3, if it has stars, they're more likely to click on it. So first of all, if that shows up, that you get an advantage to the content that you've put on there, because they know that somebody else has either commented on it or liked it. So how are people choosing a real estate agent? They're not choosing this way, the way that they would in a hotel. And this has been proven in the United States. So they've done a lot of market research and found that it's not the consumer that's choosing the real estate agent because of their online reviews, but it's a validation that they've heard that this person is a good agent in the area. Maybe they were referred, and they're validating the fact that they are a good agent by Googling them and then finding out what other people are saying.
So this is, as you mentioned, really big in the States, and it's a space that is kind of not explored to its fullest in Canada yet. Is this something that's about to change?
Yes, the U.S. has had a huge uptake in agent reviews for many years. Started with Zillow, I think, is probably the biggest company down there that was doing agent reviews, and then other review companies came. There's Yelp reviews and Facebook reviews and Google Plus reviews. And how many different reviews can you have? And there's a company called Real Satisfied, which is specific agent reviews for real estate. And Century 21 US has been using this for 2-3 years now, and successfully. They found actually networking amongst some of the agents down here who asked a lot of questions with regards to the review system, and they're finding that they have to be out there. They have to have some sort of review. They choose where to put it. And Real Satisfied, because it's hooked up with Century 21 in the back-end system, automatically gets these reviews sent to them when a house transaction happens.
So this is Century 21 in the States you're talking about. Is this coming to Century 21 Canada as well?
So, funny you mentioned that, yes.
It's almost like I led you into that purposefully, right?
Yeah, it's been beta tested over the last few months at about 8 different Century 21s across Canada just to test it out. But the introductory launch is going to be happening actually the next few weeks. They sort of wanted to March 1st, but it's pushed back a little bit. But in the next few weeks, certain Century 21 companies across Canada will be rolled out to as a preview. And that's the top 25 Century 21 companies across Canada. And then a month after that, approximately, everything will be rolled out across Canada. And we're lucky enough at Heritage to actually be one of the 25 that's it's going to be, let's say, test marketed in with the initial 25.
All right, let's say you're an agent at one of the 25 offices or brokerages, or even if you aren't, when this gets rolled out to your brokerage, what should you be doing right away? Is there anything you should be doing right away to take advantage of this?
Well, it's a really cool application. It's already going to be embedded into your website. It's already going to be sent out to any deals that you do, as long as you give an email address when you fill in the sales information sheet that you hand into the administration. So really, you don't have to do anything. However, if you want to take advantage of it a little bit more, there is a back end that you want to be familiar with. You can put it on other sites, not just your Century 21 site. You can have it on different platforms, which is kind of cool. As well, just let your customers know prior to them receiving this email that it's coming. And I think that really, from what I've found out networked here, is important. If they just see it, they may think it's spam. They might not understand what it is. So if you just give them a heads up that something will be sent out by email for a testimonial and a rating, please fill it out. I think that that's really important.
So one thing that I think everyone is worried about whenever ratings come about is bad ratings.
Yeah.
Is this something that agents should worry about? And if they do have a bad rating crop up for whatever reason, for maybe a deal that didn't go as they expected and such in the past, is there anything that they can do to overcome that issue being displayed publicly?
Well, listen, I believe that, you should be an open book, obviously. There are different things. If you're a really bad agent, listen, your business probably isn't going to succeed anyway. But it's funny because we've sent out testimonials and ratings for the past 25 years, and every single one of them comes back 100%. Like, it really does. People aren't out there to say negative things about you unless maybe something did happen, and that's in a one-off situation. This system is put in place that you have to approve the rating. So don't think that somebody's going to try and sabotage your business. It's impossible for that to happen. So there is really no downside to this. You're only going to obviously put up the ratings you want the public to see. And I know your next question. Is that a concern? Obviously, as everybody has five-star ratings, right? What's the consumer going to say if everybody's 5-star, right?
Well, there you go. So what will they say? Is that something to worry about too? Like, if they're comparing agents, everyone's got the same rating. How do you differentiate there? Is it just a matter of the testimonials and people reading the testimonials, or is it just straight up validation, like you said, just to make sure someone's okay?
And that's the key. The fact is, and again, this has been tested in the U.S. Everybody has 5-star ratings. So I asked somebody the other day, well, if everybody has 5-star, what are the consumers thinking and doing? He goes, well, everybody has 5 stars, but there are agents that have 328 ratings, and there are agents with 5 ratings. So that's going to differentiate the agents that are doing a lot of business. Now, there's some concern to that. The new agent that gets into the business, how do you have an online presence with 0 rating or 5 rating and somebody else is 300? And that is a concern, definitely.
Yeah. So does Century 21 have an edge here then, getting into this early, or like what's the situation with this company that you're mentioning?
Yeah, they're first to market. Century 21 is going to be the first to hit the market in a Canada-wide, campaign, and that's going to be a huge impact on how people search for real estate agents, let's say, or validate real estate agents and the business online. Every Century 21 in Canada is going to have this rating system, and every single board, except for the Toronto Real Estate Board, has agreed to opt in to send this information to Realtor.ca. So you'll see Realtor ratings on Realtor.ca, and we'll be the only company with those ratings. Think about that for a second. You got 5 stars on all the Century 21s and no stars on anybody else. That does give us a huge advantage in terms of what people think about us across the country.
Oh, definitely. And so in the States then, like this has been in place for many years now. Is it just the norm to check up on your agent and check their reviews and such too? Is that what you're finding, especially like talking to other people, even at the conference and such too? Is this just the consumer pattern behavior a little bit different in the States? And is it going to be shifting in Canada too in the near future, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the shift is going to happen in Canada. We're leading the charge, so we can all expect the other companies to follow suit. That's that's definitely going to happen. But what is happening in the U.S. is it's just not one platform. They started off with the Zillows, and now the agent review's been going on for a while now with regards to Real Satisfied with Century 21 in the U.S. But I think the concern, it was interesting. When I talked to the gentleman 2 nights ago, he was saying that there's so many different platforms that are out there for reviews for them that it's hard to know which one to send your consumer to and when and how often, because consumers don't want to be filling out ratings on 5 different platforms. So if Real Satisfied's already been sent out, it's hard to ask for another one through either Facebook or other platforms. So there are different things that they are teaching their agents. They are saying when the transaction closes, it automatically gets sent out. Real Satisfied does the review and testimonial, and then a month later, you call that person back and say, I'm just updating my profile on Facebook. Do you mind giving me a testimonial on Facebook? And then that's when you get the second one done. So it's a 1-month follow-up with your client. Just ask for an additional update to your Facebook page, for example, or Google Plus, or wherever you want to put another rating on. So that's, there's some strategic ways to try and get as many ratings out there as possible.
So why Real Satisfied? Like you said, there's multiple platforms out there. I'm sure there's multiple platforms in the U.S. that Century 21 could have partnered with. Have you seen anything out of Real Satisfied that has really piqued your interest compared to maybe some of their competitors?
Yeah, I mean, I was really impressed. I'm a big, tech guru when it comes to looking at systems online that are functional and work properly. And are just easy. You don't have to think about it. It's done for you, automated and stuff like that, but have the features that if you did want to play around with it, you're looking for. So, and Real Satisfied has that. They have the automation. They have the thank yous. I mean, as soon as you send out that review, or as soon as you get a review back, you now have the ability to send them a $10 Starbucks card just by a click of a mouse. And that's really cool too, to thank them for the rating. Not only that, there's a lot of, and I'll get into some code stuff, and you can do some embedding codes with Real Satisfied, that you'll take this code and put it into a WordPress site or another website that you have that now is able to put your ratings in 2, 3, 4 different places, which is really cool.
Cool. Is there anything else you want to say specifically about the rating system, even Real Satisfied, or just in general before we move on?
I was playing around with it, and I put it on my WordPress site, and I found that anything that I blogged about or put a page about, I now was higher in the rankings with a 5-star rating on that content. So because I was a 5-star rated agent, anything I talked about also had a 5-star, which was really neat too. That really gives some huge advantage to your blogs and your pages that you're going to post on your different websites.
So make sure you use the embed code and embed the Real Satisfied reviews, I guess, into any sort of blogging or any other platforms you use as well. Sounds like you can take advantage of that in terms of a Google search aspect too. Yeah. Is there anything else in Vegas you want to talk about too? Anything interesting that's kind of piqued your interest other than agent reviews coming out of it?
Teams. For whatever reason, this is something that I didn't realize was a big thing. I mean, all over the country, as well as all over the world. I mean, teams are taking off. These brokerage within a brokerage type mentality with agents, and it's interesting. Nobody has a good system. I have gone to many different, seminars, and the stuff they're talking about is not really about building teams. It's like, oh, what do you how do you select the team member, do a DISC profile, which is a personality profile and all this kind of stuff. Like, no, I need the meat and potatoes. I need the contracts. I need to see how teams are structured from a commission standpoint. But everybody is either really tight, keeping that information tight to their chest, or just it's so different for every team that there really is no model. And we're looking to build a model within our brokerage, at least a couple different models that people can choose from, and make it easy if they are looking to build a team. But that could be a whole nother episode. But I just thought that was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe it is, like you said, just a case that every team is such a unique situation that it's kind of hard to come up with that formulated, framework for putting together the real estate teams as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we'll cut off the show here. It's been a good show. I'm glad you could join us from all the way from Vegas there, Eryn, too.
Yeah, it was pretty neat.
Yeah, definitely an interesting experience. So yeah, we do apologize if there's a bit more background noise than usual. It's the back, it's just the ramifications of having like a live podcast on location. I wish I could be there with Eryn too, doing it next to him, but I'm sadly stuck still up in here in Canada in the sub-zero temperatures, whereas I'm sure it's much warmer down there. So anyhow, if you like the show, you can subscribe to our show on iTunes, Google Play, or wherever you find your podcasts online. And please don't forget to give us a 5-star review on those sites, because it really does help. Now, just a quick note about Google Play. We have received some feedback in the last few days that our podcast, for whatever reason, has come offline on Google Play. So we're working with Google. I mean, as much as you can work with Google. They don't exactly have a phone number. You can just call Google. But anyhow, we've put in a notice to Google, so hopefully that will be rectified shortly. However, if you can't find us on Google Play, you can find us on pretty much anywhere you find your podcast online too. If you're looking on Android, which is typically where you'd find Google Play, there are many other third-party podcasting applications, like Pocket Cast is the one that I use. Anyhow, just you can search for us on there and you can find us there. And if you can't find us there, you can always watch this and past shows online at spotlight.century21.ca/podcast. If you need to reach us, you can email us as well anytime at podcast@homeania.com. That's podcast at HOM as in Mary, EAN as in Nancy, IA.com. So this podcast was brought to you by the Spotlight Marketing Program, an exclusive marketing package available only to Century 21 agents in Canada. Spotlight provides agents with a comprehensive internet marketing strategy for their listings. We provide high-quality HDR photography, stunning HD video tours, a cutting-edge responsive website, an extensive advertising system that will help sell your listings faster, sell them for more money, impress your clients, and generate leads. Find out why so many top agents are using Spotlight by visiting spotlight.century21.ca today. Eryn, thanks again for joining us from across time zones anyhow, down in Vegas, and have a great week, guys.
Hey, Linus.
Yeah.
What's your lucky number?
Oh, Black 17. That's
Black
the one
17. I'm gonna go put $20 in Black 17. We'll see what happens.
You're likely gonna lose it, sir, but good luck anyways. We'll let you know next week how that bet went for Eryn. All right. Anyways, have a great week, everybody.